both speaker in the closing government is actually have different stance, right? How the member of government said that the core problem is not like what the opening government said. The opening government said that the problem is how there is no transparency inside of China, how people is actually become isolated, how they actually cannot speak up directly toward the government. But the problem bring by the closing government member government especially is how actually the poor condition inside of China, ladies and gentlemen. When why on earth China can become poor country at the very first time? We say that actually none of people think that actually China is actually poor country. The first speaker of the government side of us actually have very clear to you how the condition is inside of China is actually so great. For example, how the economical growth is actually so much higher than other nations, ladies and gentlemen. So we see that actually the closing government is actually shifting their own opening side of opening government itself, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's still talk about their case. How when they say that democracy is actually can solve the problem of poor people, we say that poor people is not even the main problem inside of the China itself, ladies and gentlemen. How they are going to also create economic prosperity itself, gentlemen. When they say that actually the government of China is only taking the good things for themselves, they cannot prove you how come government of China is actually take good things from themselves, ladies and gentlemen. The simple thing is that as long as you can eat 3 times a day, as long as your children is actually going to school, you do not even care whether or not you can write on the magazine, right? You do not even care whether or not you actually can update your status in the internet, for example. We say that actually those is actually the basic need of human. That is actually the basic willing, the basic demand toward every single society inside of all country, ladies and gentlemen. We say that actually as long as it is fulfilled by government, as long as it is actually get by society, we do not even need to change the system of the country itself, ladies and gentlemen. Next idea, how they say that actually freedom of expression does matter in all countries, right? They say that actually even if society physically being full because they are not hungry, they still demand toward the freedom of expression. For example, we say that actually they said also that actually even in a they said actually it will be better in democratical country because people still can do protest because there is many options for the society itself. But we say that actually whatever the opinion is, how much actually it is, the result, the consent, the decision is actually like it or not towards what government like. So we say that actually even in a democratic country, we say government is still take over every single decision, is still take over every single result that will be created as the policy toward every single country in the first step. So we prove you how even many options, many considerations is also something useless when we are going to implement of China. Not to mention, we already glorified to you how actually China is a rich country, how China is actually already provide a great welfare toward the country itself, but not to mention also when it is exposed toward media, the inherent of media, how media is always exaggerate anything, right? So you are going to actually disturbing society. You are actually going to make like different consideration towards the society itself. But we say that actually the inherent of freedom of expression, whatever freedom it is actually can be limited for the sake of society itself. And we say that actually for the sake of society here, how society will get the stability of welfare itself, and we believe it's actually already done by the government itself, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm going to prove you. Now, let's make this point is about the characteristic of society. They said also that strict discipline is also does matter in this kind of in the society inside of China itself. Society of China, they say that actually do not like to becoming strict discipline. Well, we say that actually even discipline is also the belief of every single peoples of China, right? Wherever they are, no matter whether or not they are actually inside of China and also outside of China. We can take an example how peoples of China in Indonesia, for example, that have a shop in Indonesia, they always open the shop really early in the morning. They always become disciplined, for example. They also have a good management economy inside of their shop, ladies and gentlemen. So we say that actually it is inherited by every single society of China inside of all country in the world, ladies and gentlemen. So we say that actually strict discipline is also still okay towards society of China. None of society of China is actually rejected those kind of concept of strict discipline, ladies and gentlemen. So we say that actually the philosophical level of the characteristic of society in China is also with our discipline is also still okay because they actually also have sense of belonging toward that clothing.
Let's assume that actually you get 3 times a day eat and also get even car, but at the same time you are oppressed, you have no time to speak. Do you enjoy that? Thank you.
What kind of oppressed that they mean here, ladies and gentlemen? Oppressing means that you are in jail, for example. Oppressing means that you cannot even eat, you're actually starving and you will get a bad disease, for example. We say that actually the main need of every human is how you can eat, how you can live well, right? So we say that actually that is no kind of oppressed inside of the country of the China itself, ladies and gentlemen. They cannot even prove you how is actually the otherwise. Those kind of thing is actually a part of oppressions toward the society of China, ladies and gentlemen. So we here, as the closing opposition, we only prove you we will extend this case, how it is also will create more sustainability inside of China Islam. Changing the ideology is not as same like you are closing the book or opening the book. Changing the ideology is a matter how you are going to also changing a lot of things, a lot of aspects inside of every single country, ladies and gentlemen. We say that actually ideology is inherited head by each country. It is not easily changing by any kind of involvement, ladies and gentlemen. We say that actually changing ideology is also how you are also changing society. And when society is changing, then China, like it or not, is also will become change. We will change, and there will be no kind of, and we only prove you that democracy, the concept of democracy is actually creating the bad things toward the China itself, ladies and gentlemen. So here, what we only prove to you as the opposition side of the house, we prove you how the full-fledged of democracy is actually backlashing the current ideology of China itself, how the characterization of the government and of the society of China is actually still okay with current condition, how the main demand of the society that asked by society toward government is not on how they are going to write on the magazine or actually watch TV, but how they actually get welfare. And welfare is about need, it's about basic need, it's about food, it's about education, it's about economy. So we see that actually none of speakers of government side of the house can prove you the otherwise what is actually the exclusive point that inherited in democratic country that is not inside of the China itself. Thank you.